welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. If this is your first time here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you are the first to know when a new video goes up. In today's video, I'm doing a get ready with me while also chatting with you all about something pretty personal to me, insecurities. I'm gonna be open and honest about what I have faced, currently facing, and how I'm coping with insecurities overall. So this video is gonna be less about the makeup, but I will share with you the products that I'm using, but more about my journey with insecurities. So if you're interested, keep watching. All right, guys, I went ahead, did my eyebrows off camera. So if you are interested in seeing how I do them, I do have a video. It's a step-by-step makeup tutorial, which I will have linked in this video. And for those of you who have watched my DIY lamination video, they did start to fade after about a week. So I just went in with some brow pencil and filled them in. But more importantly, let's just get into the topic of insecurities. When it comes to insecurities, in my opinion, your age, gender, ethnicity, religion, race, none of that matters. I genuinely feel like we all go through some sort of insecurities. Some of us might be better at overcoming them and not letting it impact our lives as much. But I know for me personally, not only am I still struggling with insecurities, I definitely feel like it has impacted certain aspects of my life, whether it's friendships, relationships, opportunities, fears of doing certain things. Like it all has tied together into who I am really as a person today. I do hope by the end of this video, you do get to learn a little bit about me. My goal with my channel is not only to talk about makeup, beauty, and skincare, but I also want to talk about personal growth. I've been going through my own journey for quite some time now, and I want to share my experiences with you all. And secondly, I hope that I can connect with someone who's feeling alone in the battles and challenges that they're facing. And I want to reassure them that they're not alone. We all are going through our own battles, if not the same ones. And so sometimes we just need that reassurance or a voice to let us know that we are not alone. And I want to be that voice for you all. I'm using my NARS Radiant Concealer. I'm just gonna apply that to my eyelids and just blend it with the Beauty Blender. I am gonna go in with the Subculture Ansatasia Beverly Hills palette. And I'm gonna go in with Fudge right here. I'm just gonna place that into my crease. The first thing I wanted to share when it comes to insecurities is body insecurities. And I think a lot of us can relate to body insecurities, especially women. I personally went to predominantly white private schools. And so being a woman of color, being a minority in those spaces, when I look back at it years later, it was very traumatizing in the sense from a body standpoint. Now, I will say I am pretty slender still. I was slender then. I might be even more slender now. I'm not sure. But I struggled with basically body dysmorphia in a way. Here I am, a Black girl, in an environment with predominantly white women and white men, of course. And the white women at the time, my white classmates, who were my friends, mind you, very skinny, very slender, very model-esque, if you will, at that time. And for me, being a woman of color, I had a little more curves. At least I thought I did. Now, if you look at me today, if you look at me then, you'll be like, Courtney, you are not that curvy. Yes, I get that, and I agree with that 100%. At the age of 14, 15, 16, my mind was in a completely different headspace. Like I didn't see what I see now. And I feel like I did a lot of comparing myself. I remember even wearing my North Face fleece, those heavy fleeces, and I would wear that around my waist all the time to hide my so-called butt. I was embarrassed. I was insecure. I felt like I was going to be judged for having any sort of curves. And when you're in high school, you know, all you do is you want to be cool, you want to look good, you want to fit in. And I feel like when I was covering my, what I thought to be was a large butt, I was trying to fit in. I was trying to look as skinny as I could like all the other girls. And played sports. I was captain of tennis, of varsity tennis. I was captain of varsity basketball. So I was very athletic. You know, regardless of being an athlete at the time, I still was struggling with body image and struggling with comparing myself constantly to all my classmates, constantly thinking that they have this, I don't have that, I have this, they don't have that. Like that mindset, it was such a... I am going in with this palette. It's a MAC palette that I customized, so it doesn't have the names on the back. However, I will leave all that information in the description box below. I am first going in with this one. It's kind of like a brick color. And again, I'm going into my crease. After high school, I went to college. And so college is where I think things kind of took a turn. See, I went to a college upstate New York called Syracuse, go Orange. And you know, when I got to college, there were more Black people. There were more people that looked like me. There were more women that looked like me. There were Black men, even to the point I was getting attention. And I mean that in a way like compliments on my physique or being more confident, honestly, in my physique. That's when I started wearing leggings. Now, I forgot to mention that little bit. I never wore leggings in high school because I didn't want to show off my body. And all my classmates at the time did wear leggings. Like, that's all they wore. So in college, that's when your girl started feeling a little more confident with what she has and what she's rocking. And it was a different experience. I felt like I fit in more. I felt like there was more girls that looked like me. And to be honest, when I got to college, here I am thinking in high school I'm too big. Then I get to college thinking I'm not curvy enough, you know? So I struggled, as you can see, with where do I fit in from a body standpoint. And there were a lot of girls, very curvy. There were a lot of girls who had a lot more to work with than what I had. And so then I started with that struggle of, okay, do I need to gain weight? Do I need to eat more? Like, what do I need to do to get a bigger butt? I didn't have huge boobs, so I need to go pay for boobs. Like, the mindset was still there. The issues with insecurities were still there. I just was able to find people, I think, that looked more like me from a physical standpoint. And some of those women that I'm speaking about are to this day my closest friends. College just reaffirmed and reassured me that my body type was okay, but it also confused me a little bit as well. I started to wonder, now, is my body good enough for the Black community? Because I didn't feel like it was good enough for the quote unquote white community. And so that kind of internal battle that I was facing lasted me throughout college. And to be honest, it's lasted me to this day. I'm still struggling with understanding what body type is Courtney okay with. That's an ongoing struggle that I'm facing with right now. If any of you can relate to that, let me know, and maybe let me know what you're doing to try to overcome that. But it's definitely been hard. It's been a battle that I don't foresee ending anytime soon. I just want to get to a place where I am comfortable and confident in my body. It's been something I've been struggling with. It's something that doesn't make my life easy by any means. And I am at a point where I'm recognizing it, I'm understanding what triggers me, and I'm trying to find ways to move away from things that trigger me. Let's even talk quickly when it comes to body issues and social media. I will find myself looking at images of what I can as pretty girls, pretty physiques, and I'm sitting there scrolling, looking at what they have and that I don't have. Now, what I want to say is that, you know, comparing yourself to Instagram body types is unachievable. There's Photoshop, there's Facetune, there is surgeries. There's so many things that make their bodies look that way that I've finally realized, like, Courtney, listen, don't compare yourself, one, but definitely don't compare yourself to what you see on Instagram. And so I'm learning that. It's definitely taken a while, but your girl is making improvements. And the last thing I do kind of want to touch on when it comes to body image itself is that I am learning that I am imperfectly perfect. I am the way that God has built me. I am the way that I'm supposed to be. Now, I love to work out. That is one thing that I can control. So I can control what it is that I look like. And while I'm still trying to determine what it is that I want to look like, I can control how I get there. I will always have a little bit of body dysmorphia, I think, because what I see in the mirror is certainly not what people see when they see me. At the end of the day, it matters how I feel, what I see when I look at myself, and making sure that I am content and happy with what I see. And so that is where I'm continuing to work on as I continue to go through this personal growth journey. Now, let me just quickly finish up these eyes so that we can keep moving. I'm gonna go in with my primer. This is one I always use, my holy grail. It's the Becca ever-matte-poreless-priming-perfector. My next biggest insecurity has to do with men in situationships, relationships, whatever ship you're in. I've struggled a lot with them. Now, men, obviously that's such a general statement that I just said, but it really does have to do a lot with my upbringing. I'm gonna go in with my Sasha Buttercup setting powder. As some of you know who watch my videos, I like to put this setting powder, a layer of it, on my skin on top of the primer before I put my foundation. Now, men, has a lot to do with my upbringing. I'm gonna be very vulnerable and honest with you all. I did not grow up with my father in my life, so I have a lot of abandonment issues, and that is a separate video that I do wanna talk about at some point. But a lot of that ties to my insecurities now. My insecurities of feeling not good enough, not enough for someone to stick around. I'm going in with my Makeup Forever HD in R520. For me, when it comes to relationships, I struggle with trust. I struggle with feeling like I am not good enough. I need that validation because I'm very insecure when it comes to a man that I'm into. And I fully own that and admit that I am insecure. The fear of being abandoned, the fear of not being good enough. So a lot of those insecurities stemmed from my childhood when I was abandoned. And you know, what I've learned a lot too over the past few years, and especially last year, really is that it's not about him in the relationship, it's about me when it comes to myself. It's about my love for myself. Because if I had more self-love, then I wouldn't be so insecure and worried and fearful and anxious all the time that this man, this individual could leave me. And so to be honest, I think I am in a place right now where I am. I'm learning to love myself. I'm learning what it feels to be happy by myself, so that hopefully when the time comes that the right person comes into my life, that I will be secure enough in that relationship so I will no longer have to self-sabotage, be as fearful and worried that it's not gonna work out. I'm gonna also go in now with my concealer, but that's what I'm learning right now, and I think those are the steps that I'm taking to help when it comes to relationship insecurities. Understanding that I need to do more self-work so that I'm not sabotaging relationships and that I'm not constantly concerned about the other person leaving me. I mean, at the end of the day, I could leave that person too, but yet I'm constantly thinking, this person's gonna leave me, this person's gonna do that. It's because I'm insecure. So until I have that true self-love, I'm gonna feel that way. Now, I'm curious, do any of you guys struggle with those demons as well when you're in relationships? I'm also curious when it comes to relationships. Do you guys feel that men have like the same worries? I always feel like as women, we're the ones that are constantly fearful. We're the ones that are constantly worried that something bad's happening, that they're cheating, that they're this, they're that, and that all obviously ties to our insecurities. But do you feel that men feel the same way? I'm curious to know your thoughts. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation, by the way. So much enjoying sharing this with you. For me, it's a little therapeutic. It also can get my thoughts out. You know, I do journal, but I think it's helpful to voice my thoughts too. And so I do hope that you are appreciating the vulnerability that I'm sharing with you all at this time, because there's definitely gonna be more to my vulnerability as I start to do more videos. I'm gonna go in on my bottom lashes. I could sit here for hours and literally give you a laundry list of my insecurities. The last one that I did want to talk about today was where I am in life insecurity. Using the Fenty Coco Naughty for my contour. So I often find myself feeling insecure about where I am from a personal standpoint in comparison to someone else that I might know that's my age or that I don't even know that's my age. I work in software and technology. That aspect of my life is all there and I'm completely satisfied. But I compare myself when it comes to feeling like I am not where I'm supposed to be. Like, we all had an idea of where we wanted to be, what we wanted to be doing at certain ages. Not saying like at 33 I wanted X, Y, and Z, but I did feel that I would be a little further along in a relationship right now. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that I would have somebody and we'd be working towards something, if that makes sense. Can any of you relate to that? So I'm constantly just comparing myself to those around me that do have that. I'm using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is Topaz. This is the highlighter. It can be a blessing that I'm single right now because everything I just mentioned, I would sabotage a relationship because of the insecurities that I have, because of the lack of self-love that I have. So I'm working on that. my body image. I might be insecure in a relationship right now because I would feel that my body might not be good enough for my partner, when in reality, if it's good enough for me, it should be good enough for him. So I truly believe that there are things that I am working through right now to be prepared for someone that will love me, but I will also be able to love myself and be more secure. And I'm trying to just be patient. I think that's the biggest thing for me, and that's what I'm learning, is to just have a little more patience and just really focus on myself. Because again, doing any comparison with anybody else doesn't do any good for me. It only makes me maybe a little more depressed, sad, lonely, whatever the case might be. So I'm learning across all my insecurities to not compare it to anybody else's. It's easier said than done, I understand. I would say this last insecurity that I'm facing right now is not something that I thought really much about in my 20s. I think it really started when I turned 30, 31, and just became more in my face, and something that I've been thinking about more just because of where I am in life, and I'm getting older. So it's definitely become something that I guess worry a little bit more about, even though maybe I shouldn't be worried. I don't know if worried is the right word, but conscientious. I think I'm more conscientious of it. I don't know, I guess this is just a different phase in my life now where what is important to me is far different than what was in my 20s. And I guess I just have little insecurities from time to time when people are like, oh, are you married? Or, oh, do you have kids? And when your answer is no, it's like, are they judging you? Are they thinking less of you? Does that make sense? All right, guys, this is the finished look. As you can see, I did apply my lipstick off camera. More importantly, I hope you found value in my vulnerability today. Being open and honest is something that I plan on doing more on my channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if there's at least one person watching this video who now feels a little less alone in their battles and struggles with insecurities, then I am truly grateful. And with that said, I will see you all in my next video.